Hey, who remembers Jefferson Bethke, the guy that wrote, "I hate religion but love Jesus"? Remember him?
What if I told you Jesus came to abolish religion?
He has a video out called "What Are Counterfeit Gods?" and I find it to be very fucking interesting. Let's take a look.
When I was in college, it didn't really matter who I talked to about Jesus. Almost everyone seemed pretty open or pretty okay with, chatting about his grace, his forgiveness, and his love.
Okay, that's bullshit. Most people do not want to talk about Jesus. In fact, I know people who specifically talk about Jesus when they want to be left alone. Because the second you bring up Jesus in everyday conversation, people are like, oh shit, one of these fucking nutters. Even other Christians think that shit. Even people who read the Bible and believe in Jesus, if you bring up Jesus like at work or just like on the street, like, you know what this reminds me of? A parable of Jesus. People are going to be like, oh, fuck. Oh, God. In fact, look at this guy who got out of being interrogated at the border just by pretending like he's some Jesus freak.
You a citizen?
Hey, actually a more important question than that, it's asked one time in the Bible, it's what must I do to be saved? And they said, believe on the Lord Jesus Christ and thou shalt be saved in thy house. So if you got about 10 minutes, I can walk you through that in the Bible and show you how to be saved.
I can't right now.
You can't? Now's not a good time?
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
Have a good one, sir. Thank you.
Yep, see you later.
But I remember almost everyone, like clockwork, would start to get upset and kind of have this righteous anger whenever I would bring up those passages where Jesus asks for everything. He says, you need to give up your life. You need to die to self. You need to love me more than your mom and your dad. And there was almost kind of this how dare he attitude that would boil up when I would chat with people about that.
I mean, yeah, people are going to get riled up and offended when you tell them, like, hey, you should be in love with this fictional character that you've never fucking seen, never heard from. He's never gonna do shit for you. You should love him more than your friends and your family, more than the people who are actually fucking there for you. You should love him. I mean, that's like me walking up to someone and saying, like, you should love the Cat in the Hat more than your mom, because the Cat in the Hat suffered for you. He's a fucking cat, and he's wearing a hat.
And I remember perfectly I would understand it and say that totally makes sense, but the more I thought about it, I started to realize, how come he's the only one we get mad at that asks that, right? We're perfectly fine with everything else in our life, asking everything from us and asking us to sacrifice for. It's like, how many marriages have we seen where the father is totally willing to give up everything? The relationship with the kids, the relationship with the wife, maybe his friends at church, because he wants to have an adulterous relationship.
Okay, the key word in that sentence is wants, alright? It's not like it's hard to figure out. If there's some guy and he's in this marriage and he's got these annoying kids and this nagging wife, it's no fucking mystery why he wants to go get his dick sucked by someone else who wants no firm commitment from him. I mean, that's not a fucking mystery. That's not like, geez, why? Jesus ain't gonna suck his dick. Jesus isn't gonna take his mind off his nagging wife and his fucking bratty kids. Alright? Jesus ain't gonna fucking let him cum in his mouth. I'm just saying.
Or how many 16-year-old teenage girls do we know who are willing to sacrifice their bodies, their minds, their emotions, their friends for a boyfriend? How many people do we know that are willing to sacrifice everything on the altar of their job?
The consequence of not having a boyfriend is you're a little lonely. The consequence of not sacrificing for your job is you don't make as much money. The consequence that you guys posit for not believing in Jesus is that you will burn for all time in hell. You conveniently kind of just forget that part, don't you? By that standard, isn't Jesus really the most scumfuck criminal in all of history? Like, if a guy that comes up to you with a gun and demands your wallet is a scumfuck, then Jesus is trillions of times a scumfuck, because he comes up to you and says, love me more than you love anything else in the entire fucking world. Or I will burn you. And I won't just burn you once. I will burn you forever. For the rest of time. Every single second from now until infinity will be filled with suffering. If you don't fucking love me. Let's just face it, Jesus is a fucking monster. He's worse than fucking Dracula, he's worse than the Frankenstein monster, he's worse than the fucking Balrog in Lord of the Rings. He's worse than pretty much anything that any writer of fiction before or since has come up with, okay?
And so the truth that I started to realize is, it's not that we should get mad at Jesus for asking everything from us, it's actually that everything does that. There's one thing in every single one of our lives that demands everything from us.
There is nothing in my life that asks from me what Jesus asks from me. And the word asks is completely misleading for reasons that I've already gone into. It is a demand. It is an ultimatum. And it is the worst possible ultimatum that you could ever conceive of. Nothing in my life demands that of me other than this religious bullshit. Okay, so don't even fucking, where are you getting this equivalency from? There is no equivalency. You're pulling this right out of your ass. Like, oh, let me just get in here. Oh, yeah, everything asks you for everything. Jesus, why is he an exception, huh? Yeah.
It says, I want all of you. And what's unique is that it's not that Jesus is unique in asking everything for us, but Jesus is unique in that he actually gives up everything for us first. Jesus is the only one out of lust, anger, adultery, relationships, reputation, power, sex. He's the only one out of all those things that actually says, I'm going to give you everything I have to compel you to give everything up for me.
The bullshit needle just went into the red. It's like, beep, 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 beep. Unprecedented levels of absolute fucking bullshit. Like, what is Jesus? Jesus has not done anything. 2,000 years ago, he supposedly got nailed to a cross. And then he died, and he went to hell for 3 days, and then he came back to earth and like, hey, I'm a ghost, and then he went up to heaven to rule over all mankind for all eternity. What a fucking sacrifice, huh? Okay, let me just explain something to you. If you devote yourself to like lust or sex or something, you know what you get from that? Orgasms, sexual satisfaction. You know what you get from Jesus? Nothing. Absolutely fucking nothing. You know what you get if you have power? Power! You can go and be like, fuck you, and no one can do anything. Why? Because you got power. You got money, you can buy a big house. You can fucking buy a pool. You can fucking surround it with beautiful women or beautiful men or whatever the fuck you're into. What does Jesus do for you? Nothing. Jesus gives you a false promise that when you die, you will get to go to a realm of fucking eternal bliss. And he fucking threatens you with the exact opposite if you don't comply. We pretty much know there's no afterlife. Human consciousness is generated by our brains. When our brains are gone, we are gone. Okay? Death is the fucking end. There's nothing afterwards. And even if there was, the chance of it being the afterlife described in an ancient book of desert stories written by primitive man, which were mostly using symbolism and allegory and metaphor and not really to be taken literally, the chance of that book being right is nil. It's nothing. It's zero. It's zip.
See, the truth is, all those other things slap a spiked leash on us and drag us around the corridors of life, forcing us as a slave to do what they say.
No! Jesus is the one doing that. Jesus is the only one that uses coercion and force. Everything else just appeals to our desires, which are completely natural. No one has a desire for fucking Jesus. You guys, that's why you guys have to sell him with the fear of hell. No one wants that shit. No one's sitting around like fucking playing Xbox and being like, man, you know what would make my life so much better if I worshiped some 2,000-year-old dead carpenter? That'd be fucking great. No one says that. You have to sell that shit so fucking hard. You know why people like sex? Because people have genitals, and they have sex drives. They evolved to have sex drives. You know why people like power? Because it's power. You know why people like money? Because it can buy resources. You know why people like Jesus? Because they're little pussies that are scared of death. That's it.
And they always overpromise and underdeliver. But Jesus says, I'm only demanding your life because I gave you my life.
Okay, well, you know what? There's 7 billion fucking people. There ain't 7 billion Jesuses. It's not like, okay, I die once, therefore I get to tell all of humanity what to do forever. So even if the story fucking was true, and Jesus really was the son of some god, and he really died for our sins, there's 7 billion of us on the planet just right now. I'm not even including all the people that have lived and died since Jesus. Alright? So what makes his life equivalent to all of ours? Just because he's the son of God? Sounds like a fucking asshole to me. Like, at least the Jews worship the creator of the universe. You guys are worshiping his fucking loser son. I mean, think about this. God created the universe. What did Jesus do? He turned water into wine. It's like a fucking parlor trick in comparison. You guys are basically worshiping God's loser fucking underachiever son. And it's fucking hilarious. The guy could only get 12 followers in his own fucking lifetime.
I'm only demanding your obedience because I served you first. And when you understand that, when you see that the cross is the ultimate compelling love pulling you in, you realize that he's better than every single thing you've been pursuing in this life.
The cross is the ultimate expression of love? I think a lot of people throughout history who have been crucified might fucking disagree with you. You know, when their bodies were fucking contorted painfully into this uncomfortable position and they were left to die over the course of days. I seriously doubt they're like, oh, this feels like love. Let me just ask my audience, do you guys think Jesus is love? Do you think that one of the most barbaric torture devices ever conceived of represents love? Do you think that it's very loving to send people to hell because they don't love you enough? Or does that sound like an asshole? I mean, what do you think? Don't you think Jesus sounds like a fucking prick? Don't you think he sounds like the worst asshole imaginable? Because I think that. Maybe I'm alone on this. I don't know. What do you think?
I'm TJ Kirk, the Amazing Atheist. Please share my video, subscribe to my channel, and follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Tumblr. Thank you.